Okay, so this week in my opinion segment, Tag Team Wrestling, WWE's Forgotten Cornerstone. So for decades, Tag Team Wrestling was the heartbeat of WWE storyline. A dynamic blend of athleticism, psychology, and drama that elevated the product beyond simple singles competition. Yet, somewhere along the way, WWE relegated it to the shadows, treating it as a filler rather than a foundation. So let's explore why this happened, why this matters, and what needs to change. The golden era, when tag teams defined WWE. From the Hart Foundation and British Bulldogs to Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, tag team wrestling once commanded prime real estate on WWE programming. These teams didn't just deliver matches, they created moments. TLC bouts at WrestleMania, shocking betrayals, innovative storytelling made the tag team division a legitimate draw. Back then, championships meant something. Tag belts were not props, they were symbols of teamwork and prestige. Fans tuned in to see which duo could outwit and outlast the competition. And then the decline, creative neglect, and singles obsession. So what went wrong? WWE's fixation on building individual stars came at the expense of tag team continuity. Promising duos were split prematurely, often for ill-fated singles run. The Rockers, Strikeforce, and countless others fell victims to this trend. Even modern teams like the Revival voiced frustration over being sidelined despite fan demand for strong tag team wrestling. Backstage politics and creative tunnel vision compounded the issue. Reports and insider accounts revealed that Vince McMahon historically viewed tag wrestling as secondary, a philosophy that trickled down to booking decisions. A symptom of the problem are forgotten champions. The lineage of WWE's tag team titles tells a story of inconsistency. From the original WWF Tag Team Championship to the confusing era of brand splits, unifications, and rebrands, the division has suffered from identity crisis. Teams like the North-South Connection, who remembers them? Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch, Marty Jannetty and the 1-2-3 Kid, and even the short-lived duos like CM Punk and Kofi Kingston have faded from memory, not because they lacked talent, but because WWE failed to capitalize on their potential. So why does tag team wrestling still matter? Well, tag team wrestling offers something that singles matches can't do. Well, it rarely does, but it can do with teamwork, with double teaming, with the hot tags, and everything that comes with tag team wrestling. Singles matches can't give you that. So, and it has a layered storytelling as well. It introduces dynamics of trust, betrayal, and strategy. It creates an opportunity for fresh matchups without burning through the main event singles bouts. And when done right, think about a couple of years ago, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania 39. It can headline major shows and steal the spotlight. So WWE should capitalize on teams they already have on the roster. Let's take a look at Raw. You have the War Raiders. They're perfect for brutal, high-impact matches, and they could anchor the division with dominant performances and feuds with more athletic teams in contrast. The New Day. Gone are the days of pancakes and positivity. The New Day has embraced a darker, more cunning persona. They use their charisma to manipulate and mock opponents, blending humor with cruelty. The Judgment Day, already a major faction, splitting into a dedicated tag unit and crowd engagement, could recreate a lot of things there. Of course, I think there's a split in the Judgment Day brewing with either Dom, but I don't think it's going to be Dom that's going to be going out of the Judgment Day. I still think it's going to be Finn Balor. But if you take out Finn and put somebody else with JD McDonough, and you can have a tag team there, they could go for the titles again. Alpha Academy, comedy meets technical wrestling. They're ideal for mid-card feuds and crowd engagement. The LWO, they bring speed and lucha flair, perfect for higher energy matches and international appeal. And then you got American Made. We haven't seen them in months. What the hell happened to them? But Brutus and Julius Creed are incredible wrestlers. If booked right, they could be champions tomorrow. Let's take a look at SmackDown. A newer team with potential that could be booked as disruptors are Fraxium. They're so good. I know they're small, but that's the motto of tag team wrestling. A lot of times it's smaller teams that can get some titles and become popular, and maybe they can get up at singles fame after that. Just think about Shawn Michaels. He wasn't the biggest guy on the roster, but he started as a tag team wrestler, and then boom, he became champion because 6-7 years later. DIY, ruthless and methodical, and they have abandoned their underdog roots, and now they're going for a win-at-all-cost mentality. Los Garza, charismatic and athleticism, ideal for flashy matches and storyline drama. The Wyatt Six, there's nothing to say there. There's dark psychological storytelling, and they could dominate, which they are, as a menacing heel team. Of course, there's Pretty Deadly, but right now there's Elton Prince that is injured right now. But if they come back together, they could excel with their character, and they're great for entertainment purposes. And of course, there's the Street Profits. Montez Ford is crazy agile, and Angelo Dawkins has improved leaps and bounds since he came up on the main roster some years ago, and he's still improving, and that team could be the dominant force in SmackDown. So the path forward. If WWE wants to restore tag wrestling, here's what they have to do. They have to have consistent booking. Stop breaking teams for short-term singles pushes. Of course, you have to break teams sometimes. If you want to create if you see one of the team members that you see as a big star, again, example, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, those are the two best examples I can see. Bret Hart, they broke him up with Jim Neidhart, and Michaels with Marty Jannetty, and they became world champion. What about their partners? Jannetty never was a singles. Well, he won the Intercontinental Champion, but he never was a world champion. Same thing with Jim Neidhart. You have to have meaningful titles that treat the tag belts as prestigious and not transitional. You gotta have good storylines around tag team titles. If you want them to be relevant, that's the way to go. Creative investment. You give tag team storylines beyond we're partners. That doesn't work. Give them storylines. Like a good example was in SmackDown recently when all the teams were battling each other for a chance at the titles, and they were like DIY were playing disruptors with the other teams, and that was good back then. Then when the Wyatt Six won the titles, what's the storyline? There's none. And I like that Wyatt Six faction. It's great, but you gotta do something with those titles if you want them to be relevant. You gotta make made event opportunities. Let tag matches headline more often. They've proven they can. They proved that over and over again that they can main event. Again, I'm going to go with my example. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos that headlined night one of WrestleMania just two and a half to 3 years ago. Why not? So tag team wrestling isn't just a relic of WWE's past. It's a vital ingredient for its future. Fans crave variety, and nothing delivers that better than 2-on-2 warfare. It's time WWE remembers its forgotten cornerstone and gives the tag division the respect it deserves.